Yes, it's model time. Well met everyone, Briareos Kerensky here. This unboxing, if you will, has been on the back burner for quite some time, but since March we'll see the release of the Valkyria Chronicles 3 complete artworks book by Udon Entertainment. I bring you the special edition of a Volks resin kit model, representing the heroine of the first game, Alicia Melchiott. It is a special edition because it was only sold directly by Volks at the Hobby Round 8 fair, and it includes a special water slide decal sheet. As indicated by the front cover, this is a resin color kit, 1/8 scale and sculpted by Tamaki Toshiaki, an artist who did a good number of resin kits for Volks. It's also noteworthy the license by Sega Balloon, because it allows me to lash out at Sega for being afraid of making money and not bringing Valkyria Chronicles 3 in the West. We are getting its art book, but we have to rely on a fan translation for the game. Thank you Sega, but I digress. The box doesn't show much. The right side has front and rear views of the complete model, and on the left we have the price, 12,000 yens. If you are wondering, I bought this through tokyohunter.com for a slightly higher price, but this is to be expected, especially when speaking of a limited edition like this. But let's see what Alicia looks like in her unfinished splendor. This is the manual, and this is the special decal sheet. You can see here that Volks provides eyes as decals, and I think the eyes are standard. As said before, this is a resin color kit, and if you are lazy you can even assemble Alicia without painting anything. Of course it won't look as good as a fully painted kit and will still require some careful sanding and assembly, but there is definitely less work involved than a non-color resin kit. Now, this is not my first color resin kit, but as you can see there are multiple shades of the same color, like the brown for boots, hairs and rifle, and small details like the fur on the boots is provided as separate pieces, something that really surprised me. Small items like the grenade are printed in just one color, but you can't really fault Volks for this. The colors themselves are also very faithful to the reference illustrations, which is a really welcome plus. It's easy to see that the printing quality is very high, with flashes only present around ejection pins, and in most cases these pins are located well away from visible areas. The most glaring exception is the white part of the jacket, with a rather huge pin on the right side. The same piece also show a very thin mold line, and the detail lines almost disappear around the shoulders. And other than this, there are no real bad pieces. The armor pads are especially noteworthy, with very precise lines, always at the same depth, and no distortions on even the tiniest detail. I find the smaller section behind the knee pads particularly interesting, but it's hard, if not impossible, to point out a section less detailed than another. All pieces have the right amount of detail where it matters most, and I'm pretty sure that even unpainted this kit will look very balanced. Then there is this piece, which I don't really know what is. This is where the manual comes into play, and I can't deny that the manual is perhaps the most striking thing about the kit. Again, this is not my first official resin kit, with Casper from Dead Smiles being the first, but she didn't have this kind of manual. Full color, plastified paper, clear instructions on sub-assemblies, hints on how to assemble and color everything. It's even better than master grade manuals. But yeah, that piece. The table lists it as C6. The manual starts from the head, and here it is, it's the tongue. The torso is very straightforward, unlike the legs that require a lot of pieces. You can see that the leg armor pads are composed by 2 pieces, and if we go back to the part list, the G pieces are red, while the rest is this greyish blue. You can see that the arms are quite complex themselves, and Volks also give you a full rundown on how to paint the various armor pieces with the Galleon's 3-color camo paint. This is where the special decal sheet comes into play. It gives the light and dark grey areas, though by comparing the sheet and the various photos, both should have been a tad lighter. Once the rifle and the ankles are complete, it's time to put everything together, and there are also information on how to secure the figure to a base. The last page holds a small color reference, along with some shots of a fully painted model. I have bought this model back in December 2012, and since it arrived, I've been postponing assembling it for various reasons, but I'm pretty sure that it will be incredibly fun to work on it when I actually do it. Now, unfortunately, this kit is not readily available, but if you are lucky enough, you might find it at Volks on brick-and-store shops, Mandarake, or one of the many Akihabara shops in Tokyo. You'll have to go to Japan for this, but this kit is more than worth to look for. Until next time, Briare Oskarensky, over and out.